Hello again, guys. So let's now continue with our discussion on the five basic sentence patterns. The first video, I have already presented to you the outline, and on the second video, I have differentiated the differences between an intransitive verb and a transitive verb. Okay, so are you ready to start? Get ready with your pen and paper as we start with the five basic sentence pattern. Let's start with pattern number one. That is your SIV. So again, guys, what is the meaning of SIV? Then that is your subject plus your intransitive verb. Okay, so for the SIV, the question now would be, teacher, how to construct, okay, how to construct SIV pattern. If you could remember, we studied on the part 2 of this video that your intransitive verb here, right? Your intransitive verb, it doesn't have, okay, so it doesn't have a possible, okay, it doesn't have a possible answer to question here, what and who. Now, teacher, you told me that you told us that an intransitive verb, it doesn't have a possible answer. Therefore, your intransitive verb, okay, just remember, guys, your intransitive verb, it doesn't have an object. So when we say it doesn't have an object, your intransitive verb, it is not, okay, it is not followed by a noun. It is not followed by what? A pronoun, or it is not followed by any substantive of your noun. It cannot be followed by a noun phrase, or it cannot be followed by a noun clause. So therefore, teacher, you said that, okay, SIV, intransitive verb, is not followed by a noun. Yes. Why? Going back to our basic rule, it doesn't have any answer to what and who. So what could we use, teacher, if I have intransitive verb, if I use intransitive verb in my sentence? Then that is, you have to use, guys, your adverb. Teacher, why should I put adverb after an intransitive verb? Guys, going back to the basic functions of your parts of speech, an adverb, okay, an adverb describes what? An adverb describes a verb. Therefore, since your intransitive verb here is not followed by a noun, then what should I use, teacher, to expand? What should I use to make my sentence longer? What other details should I put? Then that is your what? Adverb. So meaning an intransitive verb can be followed by an adverb. So again, it is not followed by a noun, and it is not followed by your pronoun. Now, as I told you that your intransitive verb is followed by an adverb, so adverb has different types. So we have the simple adverb. So after an intransitive verb, we have a simple adverb. Like we have your adverb of place, we can use your adverb of time, adverb of manner, adverb of reason, possibility, like that. So we have to use a simple adverb after an intransitive verb. Another one here is that you can also use the substantive of adverb. Then that is your what? Adverb frame. And you can use your adverb clause after an intransitive verb. Now, guys, I want you to actually follow all my lessons continuously. It is because we will try to study, teacher, what is an adverb phrase? An adverb phrase, guys, it has three types. You can have your prepositional phrase adverb, you can have an infinitive adverb, and you can also have a participle adverb. So aside from simple adverb that we can use after the intransitive verb, you can have the substantive, which are your adverb phrases. The same thing with the clauses. Teacher, what are the adverb clauses? Okay, we have your adverb clauses of time, adverb clauses of play, time. We have the adverb clauses of reason. We have your adverb clauses of opposition, something like that. So we can use all this after an intransitive verb. Okay, again, guys, I repeat. If you have an intransitive verb in your sentence, it is followed by adverb. An adverb can be in the form of a simple adverb and can be the substantive of adverb, which are the phrases and the clauses. So is it clear, guys? So that's the most important thing, how to construct SIV pattern. Now, teacher, can we have an example? Definitely. I will give you examples. Okay. Again, what are examples of intransitive verbs? Okay, example. We can have belong. We have come. We have cough, die. We have fall, flow, fly, go, jump, kneel, lie, remain, sit, sleep, stand, walk, weep, travel, something like that. So those are the common intransitive verbs. So if you search YouTube, guys, you type intransitive verbs, then you can see a lot of examples. Google can provide you that. So let's have an example. Let's try to use the verb go. So go is an intransitive verb. So teacher, how do we use that in a sentence? Let's say, for example, Mary goes. Again, guys, let's try to just simply follow again the basic rule. Is it again possible if I say, what does Mary go? Cannot be. Who does Mary go? Cannot be. Like, for example, Mary goes market? That's wrong. Because if you just simply use Mary goes market, if it's only followed by noun, then it cannot be. Mary goes Mary. Mary goes John. Who does Mary go? Then again, that is incorrect. So guys, always go back to the basic form. Now, Mary goes. It should be where. So where is in a form of what? Adverb. Let's say Mary goes to the market. So guys, to the market here, it is an adverb of place, and we use here a substantive of adverb. I use here an adverb phrase indicating place. So to the market here is in a form of an adverb. That is why I told you earlier that your intransitive verb here, it is followed by what? An adverb. Another example here, you can say the student. Okay, so you can put here the student fall. Again, what does the student fall? Cannot be. So you can say the student falls very fast. So the student falls fast. So this is what? How? How does the student fall? If you want to use the past tense, the students fell. How did the student fell? Fast. And your adverb describes your intransitive verb. Again, in the sentence, the intransitive verb, it is not followed by a noun or a pronoun. Again, it is followed by what? Intransitive what? Intransitive verb. So is this clear? Okay, teacher, you said that an intransitive verb is followed by an adverb. Is it only possible, teacher, that I can only use one adverb to describe the verb? No. You can actually use series of adverbs. You can use as many adverbs as you can in your what? Sentences. Okay, let's have an example here. You can say the man. Okay. The man sleeps. So again, this was the example of intransitive verb that I gave in our first lecture about the differences between transitive and intransitive. So the man sleeps early is an adverb. The man sleeps early at night. So at night is what? is an adverb. The man sleeps early at night. Why? Because he wakes up at 7 a.m. every day. So in that case, because he wakes up at 7 a.m., that is an adverb clause. So as you notice, guys, your intransitive verb here is plus adverb, simple adverb, plus adverb, a prepositional phrase, plus adverb is what? An adverb clause. So if you notice, guys, the intransitive verb is adverb, adverb, and what? Adverb. It can be a simple adverb. It can be an adverb phrase. And it can be your what? Adverb clause. And this is, guys, how to make a sentence using the pattern subject plus intransitive verb. Again, an intransitive verb is never followed by a noun. It is followed by what? Adverb. And again, an adverb can be simple. It can be a phrase. It can be a clause. Okay, guys? So it's also your turn now to have your self-study regarding basic pattern number 1. So SIV. I hope, guys, it makes I have made clear for everybody how you construct an SIV pattern. Now, the question is like this. Teacher, is there any other way, or are there any other ways how I can identify if the verb is what? Intransitive? Okay, we do have other ways how to do that. If you have your dictionary, or if you're holding a dictionary right now, or if you're using an electronic dictionary, there are clues that you can identify. Number 1, you can see the sign VI after the word. Let's say, for example, if you're using an electronic dictionary, if you type the verb die, something like that, if you type this verb die, beside the word, you can see the sign here, VI. And the VI that you can see in your dictionary, that means intransitive verb. That is one way, guys. Is there any other way, teacher, how to know if my verb is intransitive? We also have other way, guys. Number 1, you can see the sign. Number 2, again, if you type the verb die, particularly for those students who have their own electronic dictionary, you can see that after the verb die, they put there what? No passive. If you can see this in your dictionary, if you type a certain word and you can see this no passive in your dictionary, then that means it is an intransitive verb. Now the question is, you might be thinking, teacher, what do you mean by no passive? Okay, I will give you now an advanced clue on this. In your sentences, there are 2 voices. We have the active and the passive voice. Guys, always remember that whenever you make a passive voice sentence, you should always have an object in the active sentence. So if you try to look at the sentence pattern SIV, do we have an object here? Mary goes. No, there is no object. But teacher, what is an object? Okay, guys, a direct object is a noun or a pronoun. And as what I've told you, since an intransitive verb is not followed by a noun or a pronoun, because it is followed by an adverb, since again it is not followed by a noun or pronoun, later on, when I teach you active and passive, an SIV has no passive construction. So again, and a subject intransitive verb pattern doesn't have a passive voice construction. So don't worry, guys. For my next videos, for my next lecture, I will be teaching you how to make active and passive. And that is how to identify if the verb is intransitive. Again, let's recap. Number one, you ask the question what and who, and it doesn't have a possible answer. That's the basic. You can use that. Even though you don't have your own dictionary, but you can identify yourself that you don't have an answer to what and who, that is intransitive. Or if you have your dictionary with you, you can use any dictionary. If you can see the word VI, that is after the word, the verb specifically, then that is intransitive verb. And if you have your electronic dictionary, if you're using an electronic dictionary, if you type the verb die, then you can see no passive. It means the verb is what? Intransitive. So there's a lot of intransitive guys that I told you earlier, like belong, come, cough, die, fall, flow, fly, go, kneel, jump, lie, remain, sit, sleep, stand, trouble, wait, walk, weep, like that. Those are intransitive and they're not followed by a noun or pronoun. Okay, let's try to have more example. Okay, so bear with me because my board is very big enough for our discussion. So I'll try to give you more examples. Okay, so let's try to use the verb sit. Okay, so he sits. Okay, where does he sit? So he sits on the table. Okay, so do you usually sit on the table, guys? Do you do this? He sits where? On the table. He sits where? He sits on the chair. He sits on the what? Sofa. So this is again an adverb. So you can say he sits on the sofa. Okay. When he watches TV. So this is an adverb clause of time. So how many adverbs did I use in the sentence? I used two adverbs. So that is an intransitive verb plus adverb plus what? Adverb. Okay. Teacher, can you give more example? Okay, sure. Don't you worry. I'll give more examples. So you can say the book. Okay. So sorry. The books belong to Mary. So look at this one guy. Belong here as an intransitive verb. Okay, listen here, teacher. You said, teacher, that an intransitive verb is followed by what? An adverb. Yes. So to marry. But look at this. To is what? To is actually what? A preposition. And then marry is what? It's a noun. Because to marry is not actually an adverb. In this case, guys, the books belong to Mary. There are certain verb, guys. This is actually the part of my next lesson. So I will cut the video here, the lecture here, and we proceed to the next part in which I will explain to you there are certain verbs that are followed by a specific prepositions. And you have to memorize that because if you do want to make an accurate or fluent sentence, an accurate sentence, there are special, okay? There are special transitive verb. I call them special transitive verb because these are not usual intransitive verb that we use in our sentences. Like, look at this. He sits on the table. On the table is what? An adverb phrase indicating place. But look at this one, teacher. This is also a preposition. And this is also what? A preposition. So, teacher, how do I know? Because this is a preposition to marry. This is the preposition on the table. Guys, that's why technically there is a lot of rules in grammar that you will be learning from me. So, yes, this is a preposition, guys. But when we say on the table, it's a phrase. this is a whole phrase indicating place. But when we say belong to Mary, okay, let's go back to the adverb functions. Adverb can be a place. Is this a place to Mary? No. It can be a reason? No. It can be time? No. It can be reason? No. That is why, guys, in this case, your to Mary here, it is not what? It's not a prepositional phrase. Because belong is an example of a special one. It is a special intransitive verb, and there are certain verbs, as I told you earlier, that you need to memorize. That this certain verb, if we use it in a sentence, we use it with a specific partner, which is a prepositions, and that is our next lecture. Okay, guys. So that is an SIV. Always remember again, it is followed by an adverb and substantive of adverb. So our class now, our discussion now, I guess is getting tougher and tougher. So if you do have personal questions, you do try to message me on my Facebook account, or you can just simply try to give your comments and suggestions below. And don't forget, guys, to subscribe on my YouTube channel so that you can easily um, be notified, I guess, whenever I try to upload a video. Okay, so that is your what? SIV. So please do stand by for the next lecture discussing special intransitive verbs. Have a good day. Thank you again for watching. I do hope that you have already written something on the paper.